So let's think about community now. So can you tell me about accessibility in spaces in your community? So places you use, how easy they are to get access to, etc. That sort of stuff.
So I go to, in my local area, is at the Ozone, so at the football grounds, and it's a group with 2 youth workers, and we go there every Friday and just have a chat and work on things, and we go to the local authority partnership board meetings, so we're with all the big managers of everything, so the head of SEND and different things, and we have, like we've spoken to Ofsted, they wanted to interview us and doing a lot of that stuff within Barnsley, because I mean, me and Theo helped set it up because there wasn't anything in Barnsley, like a youth a group for SEND. It was all like youth council and all that stuff. It wasn't directly related to SEND, which meant that when we're doing workshops, we're going further afield, and nothing was ever in Barnsley, so we wanted to start something in Barnsley. And I also go to SEND Alliance with Chelsea, and we do everything. We've done all sorts, we've done loads of stuff, but a lot of the time accessing it is transport.
Yeah.
It's just either not on time, not reliable, cancelled, late. There's traffic everywhere. I struggle with buses anyway. I can drive, but if you ask me to pay for insurance, I don't have enough money for insurance. But I could get a car, just not insurance.
Not insurance.
And I'd find that I sometimes just abandon going to places because of getting the bus, because I struggle so much on the bus. So if I could afford a car, I would, but having a car would just be so much easier and I'd be able to get a job then, because I wouldn't be just abandoning going to work because I couldn't get on the bus or go into these places, because sometimes I don't turn up because I'm having to get the bus or having to rely on parents and siblings to give me a lift when they've got jobs and places they need to be. So just transport is, I think everywhere transport is just a pain.
So you're trying to make all these positive changes yourself, like changes to the systems, but actually getting to those opportunities is just a nightmare.
Yeah.
I would say the same. Transport's a big one, but I think differently as well is putting some sort of like your events and your meetings and stuff in town centres, city centres, a lot more in the centre, like, because football ground's a little bit outside the town centre, so sometimes, and when we go to Priory campus to do these meetings, that's again a little quite far outside of the town centre, so having them sort of like putting them more in town centre base, but sometimes it's all about space and have you got these spaces to do it and stuff like that. So that's really, really important that we have like more central location or easier and more accessible locations to get to.
I feel like in the group I'm part of, Flying High, which is basically the North Yorkshire version of Barnsley and Beyond, we do a lot about making things accessible, and but transport comes up more than sort of its fair share of it is transport, and I feel like there's a focus on that and having the access to get to things that we could use if we got the if we had the means to get there, or if even the things were a bit more accessible themselves. But it's just not, and I feel like there's also a financial barrier. I mean, as a disabled person, it on average, costs about £1,000 more a year
Yeah.
to be as a disabled person, which is a real barrier to things like memberships to gyms and things like that. And because we just don't, there is a disparity in the income we get as well.
So, what needs to change in your community to better meet your needs?
I think probably mainly transport, because to do anything else, I need to be able to get to those places, and at the moment I can't. I mean, ideally I'd want a car, but insurance for new drivers is so expensive that it's like £2,000.
Yeah.
And
So perhaps some support with that would be
yeah,
good.
so like support with new drivers getting cars, because we want our independence. Buses don't give us independence.
No.
They think it gives us independence, but really it doesn't, because I'm still relying on my parents to give me lifts, because buses are so unreliable and there's not routes everywhere.
Yeah.
So between where I live and a place where I'd like to get to see my friend a lot, there's no bus route that way. You have to go into town, then out of town, and then get another bus. And a lot of places I go and I help run a youth theatre, and it's 2.5 hours on the bus, half an hour drive, and I'm the responsible adult. I've got to be there.
Yeah.
So when they get there, I have to be there.
So you have to be there.
For
3 hours,
safeguarding.
setting off 3 hours in advance.
Yeah, and for safeguarding, I've got to be there. I can't just not be there, because kids will be dropped off and there'll be no one there to look after them. So I have to get lifts there, which doesn't help them because they've got to get to work and have the car to do other things. So ultimately, if buses were more reliable and there was, it would be much easier to get to places to be able to do stuff.
I think for me, and I noticed a while ago, I go and watch Leeds United, which is my football team, and that comes to every conversation somewhere. But I saw a video on accessibility video, and I'm thinking, where are actually your accessible points? Where are places in this stadium where people might sit who have a disability? Your sensory rooms, they're not primarily put in place, and I know in some stadiums they are, you can see them or you know whereabouts they are, but I don't know where like the accessible points to get into the stadium are. I know that people sit around the edge of the pitch, but they don't only sit right at the front, so better in the sort of upper in the stands. So I think that looking at where your accessible points are, but being able to have them more prominently, or whatever word it is to use. And they are doing redevelopments to the stadium, so that's something I could probably feed back into what they're doing with that and make them just check that. So I think that's really, really important.
It's the law to make things accessible, and arguably we shouldn't have to fight for something that is our legal right, our human right.
Thank you for listening today.
And also, you can find us on our website at sendyouvoice.com.